right, according to News Nation, Diddy's nod towards jury leads to judge's threat to kick him out of the court. Let's watch.
And Laura, you are learning Combs could potentially be removed from his trial and not allowed in the courtroom. What can you tell us?
That's right, Nicole. This has just happened in the last few minutes, and this would be a huge development if he is removed for the rest of the trial. And what has happened here, as we are going through the cross-examination of one of Cassie Ventura's friends, who we've been telling you about, Brianna, who has been on the stand, Sean Combs has been, according to the judge, vigorously nodding during some of this cross, engaging with jurors, or at least appearing that he's trying to, looking at jurors. That is not allowed. And as you mentioned, legal analyst Misty Maris is here. I'm just going to scoot her in. This is breaking news, so we're just bringing her right in because we're here at the courthouse together. You just came over to tell me what the judge said. Explain to us what this means.
Yeah, so this was huge because what the judge admonished the defense team, saying that Combs had been engaging with the jury, meaning that he's making direct eye contact with the jury and having a reaction, nodding his head. The judge said this is jury interference. It's to influence the jury, and actually referenced that the defense was warned not only today during Bongolin's testimony, but also had been warned previously during the testimony of George Kaplan. So this feeds into a federal rule which relates to disruptive conduct by the defendant in the courtroom. One of the consequences could be removal from the courtroom for the remainder of the trial. So engagement with your attorneys, passing notes during testimony, even being a bit reactive to witness testimony, looking at the witness and perhaps having a reaction and looking engaged, all fine. It's when it comes down to engagement with jurors and something that could tend to influence them in some way. And what the court looks at is their influence or intimidation. Is that what the defendant is doing, and could it have that impact? So here the judge was taking a very strong stance. And keep in mind, from the defense perspective, that would be the most severe consequence, removal from the courtroom, because every defendant has the right to face their accusers. So it would set up a very significant appellate issue. The judge doesn't want to do it unless he has to, but the warning is out there, the warning shot has been fired, and it's something that could happen.
Wow.
So how do y'all think this would affect the case if Diddy is not in the courtroom? I definitely don't think it would work to his advantage. So he better pipe down.
Certainly. And so the judge, again, taking the legal team aside, and this was not in the presence of the jury, just so everybody understands that this is something that happens with the parties, the prosecutors and defense. And we didn't know before that this admonishment had happened previously. Right. So this is not the first time the defense team has heard this. The judge even saying, was I not clear this morning? And the defense team saying, yes, you were clear, it won't happen again, and that they'll speak to the client. But the consequence, especially with multiple warnings, could be removal from the courtroom. And the reason this matters is the jury, it's not going to be lost on the jury if Sean Combs is not in the courtroom for the remainder of his very serious criminal trial. And there won't really be an explanation. So it could be something that would be deemed an adverse inference, and the defense does not want that to happen. It would be very detrimental. Certainly we know the jury has eyes on him, and the problem is that he's making eyes at the jury. So we'll see what the judge does with this.
All right, Misty Maris, thank you so much for that explanation. And as we continue to move through this day of testimony, we are still expecting that witness, Jane, one of the accusers in this case. So a huge day here at the Sean Combs trial, and we'll continue to bring you up to date. I just want to get that to you, Nicole, because as Misty said, this is a really big deal.
All right, guys, so y'all heard it. Why does Diddy get several warnings when we know that he's already reached out to people, tried to reach out to witnesses, victims before the trial even started? Why does he or his team get more than one warning before he's removed from the courtroom? So a federal judge presiding over the Sean Diddy Combs trial admonished and threatened to kick the music producer out of the courtroom Thursday after he made several facial gestures towards jurors. Judge Aaron Subramanian said during a discussion with lawyers that he saw Combs looking at the jury and nodding vigorously. During the cross-examination of Brianna Bongolan, a friend of Cassandra Cassie Ventura Combs' ex-partner. So what do y'all think? I mean, if he's nodding his head, is he eyeing jurors and taking a mental picture so that they can pay them off if he's let go, if he's proven innocent? if there's a hung jury, or if they, you know, come together and say, okay, we can't convict him. We can't, you know, find him guilty of all this stuff. Some of them may be reading each other's minds. I mean, we don't know. What does the eye contact mean? What does the head shake mean, considering they just had the security guard say Diddy paid him and his manager and his co-worker $100,000 to keep things quiet. I mean, I could use 30,000, I could use 20,000, I could use 50,000. That's what he gave the security and the manager of that hotel, who had possession of the video of him beating Cassie's ass. So this is crazy. I haven't come to y'all with anything Diddy trial related yet, but I hope to bring y'all updates here and there or on a semi-regular basis. All right, well, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.